Who are special grade sorcerers? The definition of a special grade sorcerer happens to be anyone whose power is simply immeasurable or unlimited or just limitless. Take Gojo for example. We all knew Gojo's going to be in this list and on number one spot on every list on YouTube or Google. To put this man into some perspective, the very act of his birth triggered a destabilization of the entirety of Jujutsu society. In fact, quote the manga, when Saruto Gojo was born, the balance of the world was altered, and so many spirits and even sorcerers went into hiding because of that. But since we already made a full video in detail on Gojo Satoru, we are gonna use this time now to talk about the people who are next in line after him. We all know there are 4 special grade sorcerers, but I personally think there are some characters who have made enough impact on the series to change that number up to 6 or even 7. I'm not gonna include Yuji and Megumi in these people because most of their impressive feats that they have achieved in the series or manga yet are because of Sukuna taking over their bodies. I know Megumi's 10 Shadow technique can rival Gojo, but we have only seen it in use through Sukuna, and to be honest, Gojo made fighting 10 Shadows look like a child's play. So until we see more from both of them, we need to move on and see who else has made the most impact on the series since the numbers of special grade sorcerers are going down fast, with currently only Yuta left and Ghetto being a villain. So let's see who has the most potential right now, and some spoilers are on the way, so you have been warned. Maki Zenin. Maki Zenin, or as some called her, Monkey, didn't have any proper major power-ups from the start of the series until she saw her sister die. But this led us into a tragic yet beautiful moment where the ultimate sacrifice proved that cursed energy essentially treats the concept of twins as one individual. And so, neither Maki or Mai are technically a complete person on their own in that regard. After Mai's death, Maki obtained the body of steel and all her senses were amplified. She was fast enough to keep up with various cursed spirits, and she went through most of her battles and culling games without getting a scratch. While she was rampaging through the Zenin clan, she was able to pretty much one-shot everyone, and seeing how strong Toji Zenin was, she's going to be a special grade sorcerer, no question asked. She even went against Sukuna for a bit, and even Sukuna considered her a strong opponent just by looking at her. That's no small feat. Kinji Hakari. This guy, despite being so strong, left the Jujutsu Society because he was tired of how things worked. He only respected Gojo and didn't deem anyone else worthy to fight over because of the politics. That is the reason he's not graded, but considered how highly Gojo and Yuta thinks of him, it seems the Hakari has the potential to rival Gojo one day. I don't mean rival Gojo as in beat him, but as to be in line for his successor. I think it's safe to say that his strength is comparable to special grade sorcerers, with even Yuta admitting that when Hakari gets serious, he can even beat Yuta. But what exactly is it that makes Hakari such a tough opponent to deal with? His domain expansion, Idle Death Gamble. This domain allows him to create an environment resembling a train station that hosts the game of chance. Hakari's primary goal is to line up 3 of the same numbers to hit the jackpot. However, hitting the jackpot puts Hakari into the unkillable mode. This gives him unlimited curse energy for 4 minutes and 11 seconds, the exact duration of Private Pure Love Train theme, which plays throughout the round. During the time period, any injuries he experiences are immediately healed, making him quite literally unkillable. And if that wasn't enough, as soon as the time is about to run out, he could just open his domain again and go straight for the lottery and repeat this for as long as he wants. He is currently going against Yorume, so let's see how it goes. I'm sure Hakari will eventually be classified as a special grade if he ever comes back to Jujutsu Society. Hana Kurusu, or as most people called her, Angel. She is a Jujutsu sorcerer from 1,000 years ago who was incarnated by Kanjaku for the culling game in Hana Kurusu's body. She quickly became quite famous among Jujutsu Kaisen fans when Angel used her Jacob's Ladder technique to unseal Gojo and finally free our favorite sensei. If it was not for her, we would have not seen Gojo again, and if that's not enough, she almost killed Sukuna if not for Sukuna playing with her love for Megumi Megumi. But the Jacob's Ladder did almost got Sukuna, and that's a fact. I know, she is unable to fight now, and her role ended after Gojo was freed, but if she can use Jacob's Ladder after her recovery, she'll still be able to nullify any and all curse techniques, and that is a huge thing. There are no limitations to her technique other than if she doesn't want to do it. Now, this may be a long shot, but from the current Jujutsu Kaisen roster, she is easily special grade level. But since we only had 4 confirmed special grade sorcerers right now, so let's go over them too, and who better to start off if not Gojo's best friend, Suguru Ghetto. The Suguru Ghetto was officially classified as a special grade curse user alongside his classmate Gojo, and this is particularly impressive because Ghetto doesn't have the absurd granted gifts of Limitless or 6 Eyes. Instead, Ghetto's bread and butter is cursed spirit manipulation, slightly overpowered considering that dealing with cursed spirits is the aim of the Jujutsu anime. However, what makes his technique super special is Ghetto's possession of an insane quantity of cursed energy, thus allowing him to control multiple thousands of cursed spirits in tandem. Ghetto's cursed technique is cursed spirit manipulation, which, as the name implies, allows Ghetto to control cursed spirits. To gain control over a cursed spirit, Ghetto almost exercises it before consuming it as these little black and orange balls. These balls have been said to have the taste of an old dirty rag used to clean up vomit, which is just one of the most nasty descriptions I've ever heard. It's worth noting that cursed spirits 2 or more levels below Ghetto get exorcised automatically, so he really only has to be grade 1 in special grade cursed spirits. The only exception to this is if a cursed spirit that already has a master-slave relationship with another curse user, as this overpowers Ghetto's automatic exorcism. To get around this, the original master has to die in some way. Once Ghetto gains control over a cursed spirit, his control is absolute, and he's able to force the cursed spirits to do his bidding and use their abilities as he sees fit. At highest, Ghetto has over 4,000 cursed spirits in his possession, and he uses them to launch the Night Parade of 100 Demons. During this time, he went to Jujutsu High School in an attempt to beat Yuta to obtain the Queen of Curses, Rika, as he believes this would give him an edge over Gojo. This fight also showed us Ghetto's maximum technique, Maximum Umuzumaki. This technique combines all the cursed spirits in Ghetto's possession into one attack, creating a high energy condensed blast of cursed energy. This cursed technique also has the secondary effect of giving the abilities of strong cursed spirits to Ghetto upon activation for a one-time use. However, it is unclear if Ghetto knew about this aspect of the ability. We only see it used by Kenjaku in the manga, and we know getting Ghetto back after killing Kenjaku is near impossible. We could possibly remove him from special grade forever. After that, we have the guy who defeated Suguru Ghetto and also the 4 players with the highest points in Culling games, one after another without breaking a sweat, and he is none other than Yuta Okotsu. Yuta is considered the second strongest sorcerer in Jujutsu society and is expected to fill Gojo's shoes if anything happens to him. Yuta is extremely powerful, but as of now, I don't really think he's anywhere close to the power of Gojo or Sukuna, and I don't think even he puts himself in the same category as them. However, Yuta is somewhat of a Jujutsu prodigy as he ascended to the rank of special grade within only 1 year of experience. This is mainly due to 2 factors. The first is his sheer amount of cursed energy. Yuta currently has the second largest pool of cursed energy in the series, surpassing even that of Gojo himself. He's able to use this large pool to reinforce his body far beyond what a first grade sorcerer is capable of doing, giving him more defense and offense along the way. Many people have said that his cursed energy has no end to it. The second reason for his rank is Rika. Rika is Yuta's main curse technique, and she has a multitude of uses. She can act on her own if Yuta needs following simple commands and instructions, but she can also connect with Yuta, and this is where the real strength comes from. Rika is capable of storing additional cursed energy, and when a connection is maintained, he gains access to this cursed energy. She can also fight alongside him while fully manifested, which could turn the tides of any battle. Fully manifesting Rika also allows you to gain access to another curse technique, Copy or Mimic. The Copy curse technique allows to copy any curse technique that Yuta sees. We don't know the exact conditions for him to copy or mimic an ability, but we know he Yuki at least needs to see the technique once. However, due to the strength of the technique, it's highly likely that there are additional conditions needed to copy a technique. At this point in time, we know Yuta has copied cursed speech, sky manipulation, an unnamed Shikigami technique, and some more. Even Rika got an awakening in culling games with an eye-opening, with her will to protect Yuta from multiple domains forming around him. However, Rika is not all-powerful. The connection with her can only be sustained for 5 minutes in total, and it's also implied that she can be destroyed in that time frame. Yuta also has a domain expansion. We do not know what it is yet because we never actually saw what it was. He also has the ability to use reverse curse technique on himself or others, and he can also output it as well if it was cursed energy. Overall, Yuta has a ton of potential as a special grade, and I really hope we get to see more of him in the coming chapters. And lastly, we come to Yuki Tsukumo. Yuki is unfortunately the special grade that we know the least about, and it will likely stay that way because, well, you know, Yuki's main technique is Star, Age or Burn depending on the translation. This technique allows Yuki to give herself virtual mass, essentially making her as if she has much more mass than she actually does without the negative effects of having that mass. This essentially lets her hit really hard, but the point that in one blow she was able to punch through 2 arms and break the repeating cycle of the Star Corridor. She's also able to apply this technique to her Shikigami Garuda, which is capable of acting independently of Yuki or doing her bidding. We have seen Garuda turning into a soccer ball, being used as a whip, and being used as a restraint. It is also mentioned that because of the nature of her technique, she's able to ignore concepts implying the opposing curse technique. There is no way to stop the technique that she applies to herself or Garuda. In addition to storage, she also has simple domain and the ability to use reverse curse technique. She does also have a domain expansion, but we never get to see what it is. And she probably is one of the few characters whose technique is capable of surpassing their domain, as Yuki's trump card is the ability to turn herself into a black hole. When doing this, Yuki's body loses the ability to maintain its form due to having such high amount of mass. As a result, this ability will kill Yuki in the process, as there's no way for her to survive a black hole. It's stated by Kenjaku that if Tengen's barrier had not been there and Yuki had not held back the creation of the black hole, it would have consumed the world. In addition to her technique, Yuki was also a plasma star vessel, and that apparently gave her the ability to hear all the other vessels that were inside Tengen. As of now though, all that's left of her is a research book about souls and some fan theories on how you can still come back to Jujutsu Kaisen. With that concluded, if you want to take a Jujutsu Kaisen quiz and test your knowledge, click the video you see on the screen. Signing out, Aniverse.